story. When I first started driving the truck, this was like back about 20 years ago, I started dating this girl. And we were dating for a while, you know, a very caramel complected, real voluptuous body. She wouldn't, you know, she was very curvy, just said like that, had a nice little nose. So we was dating for a while. And, you know, back then, I used to buy this girl everything she wanted, what I could, you know, what I could buy her something. And sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I was a straight simp. I ain't gonna lie, I was a straight simp back then. So I would buy her a whole lot of shit, damn near blow through my check, not give shit for myself, you know. And then the more time went on, she started asking for more expensive, lavish shit. So I was coming out of a lot of money, trying to, you know, please her because, you know, if I didn't please her, I knew she was gonna leave me. So I just kept buying her all this shit to the point where I was damn near broke all the time. So one day, this is back before you had, you know, this is when you had motherfucker what? When they had Blackberries and shit. That's how long it was when we were still using Blackberries before the first smartphones like came out, like the Galaxies and shit like that. I had a Blackberry, and I bought her one. So I was spending a lot of money on this chick, just hoping that, trying to keep her happy. And I noticed the more and more shit I bought her, I noticed that she would be kind of real, kind of off-putting and shit. So she asked me one time to give her, she wanted to go on a trip, a girl's trip with her friends. So she said. So I gave her what? About $1,500. Now keep in mind, I had did a lot of miles on that check. I had did damn near what? 3,500 miles from LA to fucking Westchester, New York. Those miles. So I gave her damn near all my check and I only kept $500 for myself. My brother and my friend were telling me, man, you stupid. You shouldn't be giving her all your money like that, man. She taking advantage of you. You know, and I felt like, you know, I was getting sex, I was getting the things I wanted sexually from her, you know, but she had never, you know, buy me shit in return. She had a good ass job. She was a nurse. So she would never buy me anything, and she had a kid. So I would always, when she said she needed shit for her son, no problem, you know, give her money for her son. Well, I gave her, what, $1,500, and then she looked at me like I was fucking retarded. So I threw up some more money. You know, some money I had put up. I used to stack money then. I had a lot of money put up. So I gave her $2,500. You know, she hugged me and left off and shit like that. So, you know, she went on the girls trip and shit like that. So, her girlfriend, you know, one time met her and her girlfriend, you know, she was with a dude, and I was with her. So we went on a double date. She went on the trip. I thought she went on the trip, you know, with her girlfriends. So her girlfriend happened to just come by my house. like, wow, what's she coming up here for? So she came in, you know, asked my brother why I was sitting on the couch, looking at that time, it was a Saturday, looking at all the college games. So, the girlfriend just came off right on October. She said, you know what? I got something to tell you. And I said, what is that? She said, she told you she went on the girlfriend trip, right? I said, yeah. She said she went on the girlfriend trip with a girlfriend. I thought it was y'all. She said, no, she said, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. She went on a trip to hook up with a dude. So, she went to hook up with another dude, and I was kind of, as she told me that, I said, hold on, she went with another what? She went on a trip to see another dude in another city. So, I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of disgruntled at the shit. And then, after she left, the girlfriend left, she said, I just want you to know, because you're a good dude, and all that shit. I always thought that her friend was feeling me more than she was. That's why I think she snitched. She dropped a dime on her friend. So she got back. I played it, I played, like I ain't no shit. And I said, how was your trip? She said, oh, we had an amazing time. We had just an all amazing time. Me and the girls, we had this and that. So I listened to her shit, right? And all this the shit she was saying, I was just getting hot, but I just had to keep it down, cause in my mind I see my damn hand wrapping around her goddamn throat, but I just kept it all in, and she came over, she sit down, and we had, like, I ain't gonna even lie, we had blown out sex. So, I ain't gonna lie, we just had blown out sex, so I looked past it, being the simp nigga that I was then. I looked past it because I really, really loved it. So I tried to buy more shit to please her. So, one time we had sex, we were getting ready to have sex, and I pulled out my condom. Like normal, I always use, protection. Well, she said, why you gonna use that? I like, shit, I don't want to get, just using it. I just always use it. She said, you have to use the condom. You don't have to use that. Man, you've been together long enough, but we don't need no condom. So, me and her, I said, fuck it, okay, cool. So me and her we were having sex, right? And I was getting ready to try to pull out, and she grabbed me and held on to me, and I just, busted in her, which was foolish. And I thought about it, like, man, I should have put her on the condom. So, months went down the line, and she started getting a little bump. So she told me, I told you, I'm pregnant, right? I said, yeah, I noticed. So in my head, I thought about, her, being pregnant, me having a child and shit. So I said, damn, man, now I'm gonna have to really get on my grind. And shit, now that I got a kid coming. And then my brother like, how you know it's yours? I said, I don't know, for some reason. He said, man, that baby ain't yours, man. He said, don't claim nobody your shit. This is my oldest brother. He said, don't claim nobody your shit. He said, you went on a raw? I said, yeah, that one time. She was setting you up. So, I thought about it, and shit, so she went in, I had came off the road. And, I went into the hospital when she was getting ready to give labor, because, I've been buying kids shit, buying little, baby shit, and I was actually planning on marrying her. I really wanted to marry her, because I bought a motherfucking engagement ring. It wasn't much of a ring, but, it was like a 14, 13 carat, just something, like that. So I went to the hospital. I got there, and this other dude there at the hospital. Like another guy at the hospital. I didn't know who he was. So I was like, who is you? He said, because I just snuck up on it. I didn't tell him when I was coming. I snuck up on him. And he said, who is you? I said, I'm here to see my woman with my baby being born. And he started laughing. So I said, what's so damn funny? He said, man, she ain't tell you, I'm the father of the child. So my whole damn jaw dropped, all that shit and everything came to fruition right there. Everything. So, after that I just left. I was trying to keep my feelings all inside and shit like that. So after that, so I didn't see her after that for months. A whole 5 months later, she hit me back, talking about what you doing. So I hung up the phone, hung up my phone on the shit. So she came by my apartment, and I said, we had a conversation. She said, I was wrong for doing what I did. I should have told you. I was like, yeah. But no, I said, in other words, shit fell off. I would have moved on from it. And then after a while, I said, you know what? I ain't gonna even lie. I dodged the goddamn bullet for real. So, she came in and said she wanted to get and start our rekindle our relationship back. I said, wait a minute, hold on. Flag on the play, time out. You want to rekindle a relationship. You got a baby by another dude. And you want to rekindle a relationship. I said, what happened to your baby daddy? Where is that? And she told me that the nigga got knocked, he got blazed. That means shot, blazed. So he got killed. Guess him and some other cats got into it. Somewhere in Gary. He got into it because at the time, this when I was living in St. Louis, but I used to drive up to Chicago because I had my cousins and shit, family living in Chi-Town. So she told me he got blazed and shit. I said, oh, that's unfortunate. So she said, I wanted to rekindle the relationship. I said, no. But why the fuck she looked puzzled? Like, so you ain't gonna give me no another child? Like, no. You had your chance and you blew it. You had your chance and you blew it. But I just told her right off the back, I'm glad that he came and showed up because he saved me. I said, literally, your ex-boyfriend, your deceased boyfriend saved me from a whole lot of motherfucking problems down the line. So I said, I told her, I said, no, we can't, we good. So she left, and after that, the last time I seen her, she was like down on her luck, doing like real bad and shit. And she was out there, got caught up on drugs and shit like that. And last time I heard from her friends ran into a friend, and a friend said, Candace got killed. And I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of felt bad. I'm like, man, maybe if I would have tucked it in, she would never had got killed. I kind of felt bad. So then my brother like, man, don't feel bad about that. She was going down that direction anyway. So some things, the way I see it, some things happen for a reason, you know. And that was one of the reasons. Actually, her boyfriend, her baby daddy, that nigga saved me. He really saved me. Because she was already problematic from the jump. And to this day, I tell that I think about that dude, even though it was all fucked up timing, bad timing and shit. To this day, I appreciate that dude for saving me from that headache. Because he really saved me.